Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to go over exactly how I want to achieve my goal of hitting Gilcap in 2023. This will include my overall plan, all the lists I'm going to use to get there, and I'll be aiming to update my progress every single month. So with all that being said, let's get into it. And of course, as with every video, I have the blog post with everything and all the resources linked down below in the pinned comment. But now let's start going over it. Now, of course, with gil making, what do you have to do? You just craft, you just gather, and you just flip. That's all there is to it. But it's nice to have an outline, which I did here. Now, in total, all these lists amount to 959 million. Now, as of making this video, I did add a new list, the Grand Company Seals farm list, which totals to 15 mil. So I'm going to update this from 959 million. It's around 970 million now. Not completely gil cap, but I already do have almost 500 million gil right now. So it's only to supplement that. As with any Teamcraft list, as with any item on the market board, prices will go up and they will go down. It's not going to be the same number every week, every day, but is of course an outline. But let's start with crafting. So all these crafting lists amount to 775 million gil in total, which is a lot of gil, but also a lot of crafting. Now, with every list, you have to spend money to make money. This takes that into account. This is pure profit only. And of course, if you go ahead farm materials for the craftables, then of course you'll save a lot more money, but it doesn't matter whether I choose to gather items myself or just go straight to the market board to buy the items. This is only the profit side. All you have to do to use one of these lists is click on the one you wish to start. You can then open up the list in Teamcraft and then go to pricing mode to check how much this list would be worth on your server. Again, every server is different, so the amount might be different, but overall it should amount to a good amount of gil. This one list is 15 million in total. Of course, you're going to have to do a lot of farming for it. It is not something you can do over a course of one day, not 1 week. It might take you a month to get all of this sorted, but if you focus on the items that are worth more or focus on filling out these items, then you will make 15 million by the time you're done with it. And that's the whole point of all these lists. So as I go forward with my crafting, I'm going to fill it out and see how much I'll make. I've actually already started to work on this with white crafter scripts, which the list is also in the blog post. And so with this retainer, focusing only on white scripts, I've already made 9.3 million. And here are the items that I've sold so far. Grip gel, materia, and that's it. I'm focusing on filling out the white crafter script list, and when I'm done with that, I can either do it again, contribute to the total value, or I can move on to a different one. But so far, the white crafter script one is working very well, and I can't wait to get started on the rest of the list. But let's move on to gathering. And with gathering, all these lists amount to 22 million gil, which is a lot. And I personally avoided a lot of the endgame gatherables since personally it's not worth the time for the amount you actually get. And most of these lists will be lower level friendly, or if you don't have the best gathering gear yet, you can still use a lot of these lists for gathering. And since this is a smaller section, we can go over each of the lists individually. And the first list is the 80 to 90 fishing leaves. Now, this is not for turning into the leaf quest, it's for people who are turning in the leaf quest to level their fisher quickly without fishing. So they're going to buy the fish from you to turn it in, and that's where we can come in and make profit. Though, do keep a note when you see 8 times 10 or times a number. I'm doing this list 10 times. That's where I'm getting the total amount. But let's go ahead and take a look at the list. And here is the list. It has gone down since I made the post. It used to be around 470k profit, but now it's staying at 370k. So of course, prices go up and go down. Do keep that in mind. But since I do this list 10 times, I'm going to be gathering 30 ponders, 30 blue gills, 90 drink pickles, and so on. So it's great if you don't have max stat or if you want to go ahead and fish something a bit easy. Here is the next list. It focuses on the fish desynthesis, which all these fish here, when you desynthesize them, they give a popular and pretty darn expensive glamour piece. So I'll be focusing on to getting the glamour piece itself, but also the fish itself, since you can also sell them for quite a good amount of gil. If you get one of each of these items, it'll amount to 2.9 million, but feel free to double or triple this list if you would like to. Next is the White Gatherer script gil making, but do keep in mind that this is only a suggestion of what you should get. If you see that Squirrel Glow Sand is not that expensive on your server right now, like mine is, then instead of getting 400 of these, you'd rather get 400 more of the Sphalerite ore. Or instead of getting the Cherglow Aether Sand, you'd rather get some more Agewood. So again, it's only a suggestion, but if you fill out this list fully, it'll net you 3.2 million gil. The next list is General Gathering, no time nodes or desynthesis, and it focuses on items that are used either for popular crafts or for bulk crafted items, such as for white script crafts or purple script crafts. So these are easy to gather, but people buy a ton of it at a time. And if you fill out this list fully, you'll net 2.2 million gil, but you don't have to stop at 500. Again, you can multiply and do this list as many times as you would like to. And finally, Worthwhile Ethereal Reduction Gathering for 6.3. Now, this list is a lot harder, and if you don't have optimal gear, this probably is not the list for you. But you do end up netting 18.7 million if you gather all of these items, though it's not going to take a short amount of time either. It's going to take some time, but if you do fill it out, you'll get a ton of profit. Is it the easiest list? No. But do you get a lot? Yes. So that's why I hope I can get this one done soon. But that is it for gathering. Again, if you gather all these lists, it'll amount to around 42 million. But let's move on to farming. And of course, with farming, any farming is a little RNG because you have to rely on the boss drops, on the boss drop chance, and the desynthesis chance. But instead of putting a strict amount of having to kill a boss a certain amount of times, I'm just aiming to get 10 dancing wings, 10 aura sites, etc. So if I do get 10 dancing wings, that'll amount to 4 million, 10 aura sites, again 4.9 million, crystals of divine light 2.5, plate of lights 3.4, 15 kimono remnants 2 mil, Seiryu scales 15 for 2 mil, though not all of these have to be done with a group, such as the Neo Aether Stone leg gear 15 for 1.4 mil. You can do that solo, but we do have two lists. First up is the Bootstrap farming list, and here's the Bootstrap farming list. The Forgotten Fragments sell for a lot, and people buy a lot at a time, so that's why this list is mostly just fragments. And of course, this emote seems to be the most expensive, so that's why I also put 5 of them. You are going to need 1.5k of bowstring clusters, which is not a crazy amount. It's a lot, but not that crazy. And bowstring is nice because you can also go ahead and level your jobs at the same time or finish your Shadowbringer's relic weapon. Next up is the bicolor gemstone farming, and also do keep in mind that you can see the total amount to finish this list is 16,000 bicolor gemstones. Looks like a lot, but again, this list is not meant to be done in a day. You can do this over weeks, over months if you want to, but let's go ahead and check the pricing mode. And here's the pricing mode. Now, a lot of these items here is actually housing items, which makes sense since there is a lot of housing going around nowadays, and each item is worth a lot more per gemstone. So like the Allegan Tombstone is 400k for one. You can get 10 of them. Now you've got 4 million, just like that. There are a few Orchestrion rolls as well. These sell for a whole load of money, like the A World Divided, but also they sell pretty well for the amount that it's selling at. And of course, we also have the bicolor gemstone vouchers, which you can either sell as is, or you can put it together and sell the Wyvern mount. Now, since the Wyvern mount is so expensive, 50 million in total, you're gonna have to wait a good long while to sell it, but you can make more money by selling the mount itself than selling just the vouchers, since somebody will buy it and not be aware that you actually can buy it with vouchers. So do keep that in mind. And the final section is flipping. Now we're going to be using a website called the Saddlebag Exchange. I already talked about it in depth in a separate video, which I can link for you down below if you're interested in knowing more about the website and its capabilities. But if you finish all of these flips, then you'll make a total of 84 million, which looks like a perfect number here, but that is because of one thing. If we open up the medium furniture investment flipping, you're going to be directed to the Final Fantasy import search, which is just the search imported here. And the minimum profit amount here is always going to be minimum 75,000. So you might make even more than what is said here, but at the minimum, you're going to be making 75 million if you do 100 items with a minimum profit amount of 75,000. So all you have to do is input your server up here. Once you've got that done, you can hit search and all the items that fit this criteria will show up here. So again, minimum 75,000, but you can go all the way up to 1.5 million profit, 4K profit, for 100K profit, or 99K profit. All you have to do is flip a minimum of 100 items and then you've got 7.5 mil, just like that. So it's not just furniture, there's high investment furniture items here, collectible items, medium sell, high investment collectible items, glamour medium sell, vendor flipping medium sell, and 100,000 daily sale amount. With this list specifically, each item is going to be worth 5K, but a minimum of 20 is being sold every 24 hours. So daily, you'll be making 100K. And here are two items that fit this criteria, the Savage Materia X and the Savage Might Materia X. Again, every server you might have more, you might have less items show up on the search, but edit it, see what fits for you. And you can also fiddle around with the criterias with the website. This website is amazing, so I do recommend checking the website out for its own merit. And that's it. That is my Gilcap 999 million gil plan. Hopefully it'll work out. I am sticking to it. I've already made almost 10K already within the first week with just one list. I can't wait to get started on all the other ones, especially the farming part is going to be really fun. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this can help you on your own gil making adventures, and I have a whole lot of stuff planning. So if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. And of course, thank you to all our YouTube members, Twitch subs, and Discord boosters. You all keep the channel going. Hope to see you in the next one, and bye-bye.